Hi guys, I'm Anna and welcome back to my channel. Last video, as you know, I uploaded the first part of my tutorial on how to move to Norway in 2023. Quick story behind the scenes. When I came to post-production, I realized that the video is 18 minutes 30 seconds, which is quite a lot to digest for one video only. That's why it was decided to separate that video into two. And today, welcome on my part 2 video about how to move to Norway in 2023. Let's dive in. Let's run a quick recap of what exactly was in part 1 of this video. It's still on my channel, you can go back and watch it. But today, part 2. Let's get started. Question number 3, and how much money I need to move to Norway? Let's break down this question into several parts. First, cost of living. Is it expensive to live in Norway? Yes, it is expensive. However, higher local salaries offset these prices. The average cost of living in Norway will depend on the personal lifestyle you have and where exactly in the country you're planning to settle. In very general, in average, you should expect spending 20 to 40,000 Norwegian krone per month, and it's without your rent, which is about 2,200 to 4,300 US dollars per month. Let's talk about cost of living in Norway by cities. The most expensive cities in Norway are Oslo, Stavanger, Trondheim and Bergen. Let me give you some super estimation of how much it will cost you on average to live in those cities. If you're a single expat living in Norway, in Oslo you should expect to spend at least about 1,150 US dollars per month in Oslo, 1,130 US dollars on average in Bergen, 1,120 US dollars in Trondheim, and about 1,150 US dollars in Stavanger. Guys, it's without your rent. If we are talking about a family of 4 people living in Norway, let me break it down for you on average for the same cities. In Oslo, you should expect to spend on average 4,150 US dollars per month. In Bergen, it's going to be around 4,100 US dollars. In Trondheim, 4,080 US dollars, and in Stavanger, 4,190 US dollars per month. Again, we're not talking about rent here.
$80,000 a year.
However, the most affordable cities in Norway, if you would like to consider them, would be Hedmark, Telemark, Oppland or rural Østfold. Living expenses in Norway you always should keep in mind. Food is expensive in Norway in general because the majority of it is imported to this Scandinavian country. For more information about food and alcohol prices here in Norway, you can watch one of my previous videos on both this channel and my first travel channel. Eating out in Norway. The service as well as hospitality industry tends to be pricey in this country. This is because wait staff is paid high wages in comparison to other countries.
Open my own hotel.
For this reason, Norwegians don't make a habit of eating out all the time as other European countries might do. Let me share with you some average cost of a restaurant meal here in Norway. Restaurant meal for one here with no alcohol will be about 50 US dollars. A glass of alcohol will be on average 15 US dollars. Standard fast food meal for one, like McDonald's, will be about 13 US dollars. Coffee on average, like cappuccino, will be about 6.5 US dollars. Quick mentioning of rent prices here in Norway. Guys, this is super average rent prices based on the largest cities in Norway. Oslo will be about 1,230 US dollars per month, Bergen 970 US dollars, Trondheim 990 and Stavanger 885. The average rent across the entire country will be 8,740 Norwegian krone, which is around 952 US dollars per month. As I mentioned this before, keep this in mind that before you can rent anything in this country, you will be required to put down quite large security deposit, which can be up to 6 months of your rent. This often comes as a massive shock to many expats. Let me give you some very useful websites how to find accommodation here in Norway. You can always use local newspaper, local real estate agencies, rental websites like Finn. This is the most popular website, but usually it's in Norwegian. Great way to practice your language. Hibel, also in Norwegian, Gulleside or Yellow Pages, NEF or Norwegian Associations of Real Estate Agents. In Norway you can easily find fully furnished apartments where you can find everything you need for living, including the dishes and the towels, but the cost will be higher, or cheaper solutions. empty apartments. In any case, the cheapest solution, which is really good, especially in the beginning, is the shared apartment. Let me share with you two websites which you can use to find a room. iRoommates, which is in English, and Kangaroo, which is also in English. I would like to share with you the last tip to all European citizens who are planning to go to Norway and look for a job. Do not go with 1,000 euros in your pocket. It's not enough here. Make sure you have at very least 3 or 4 and better 5,000 euros with you. When you consider that you will have to spend at least 2,000 euros on rent, at very least 500 euros per month plus 3 months deposit, and always add to this amount a very high cost of living, you will realize that to move to Norway you will need a lot more money. To play safe, I would recommend you having at least 10,000 euros in your pocket while you're looking for a job in Norway. That should be enough to sustain you for 3 months while you're looking for a job in this country. Next questions: and what exact jobs are in demand in Norway? Norway has a very strong economy and high standard of living, which means that there is a demand on skilled workers in a number of different industries. Let me give you just several industries that are currently in very high demand, also for international workers. Number one, and it's healthcare. Norway has an aging population, which has led to increased demand for healthcare workers, especially nurses and physicians. Number two, and engineering. Norway has a very strong engineering industry with a focus on offshore oil and gas exploration and development. There is also a huge demand for engineers in some other industries such as construction and renewable energy. Number three, and IT and technology. Certainly, Norway has a very fast-growing tech industry with a major focus on software development, data analytics and cybersecurity. Number four, and education. Norway has a very well-developed education system and it's always in high demand for qualified teachers and researchers. Number five, and of course, hospitality and tourism. Norway is extremely popular destination for the tourists from all over the world and especially summer months. And there is a constant demand for workers in hospitality industry, including hotel staff, tour guides and restaurant workers. Number six, and construction. There is always a demand for Norway for construction workers, including architects, engineers and skilled tradespeople, as Norway continues to invest in infrastructure projects. Number seven, and finance. Norway has a very strong economy and a large financial sector, with a high demand for workers in accounting, banking and finance. In overall, Norway is always looking for high-skilled people in different sectors, who have relevant education, work experience and language skills in this or many other fields. For more detailed information of what exact professions are in high demand in Norway and paid the most, you can always watch some of my previous videos on this channel. I published quite a few of them to cover this exact subject. As I promised, a little bit of my personal story. I moved to Norway back in 2019, right before the pandemic started. At that time I was, and I still am, working for a British company, but even before I joined that company, I negotiated fully remote contract for me. So I moved to Norway in 2019, keeping my current contract with a British company. Is British salary enough for living in Norway? Well, it always depends on your personal way of living. But this is the main reason why on this channel I keep talking about the importance, especially these days, of a side hustle. First and most importantly, it will give you some extra money. And second, it will remove all geographical boundaries for you, letting you work from anywhere in the world you want. As usually, a side hustle is some activities you can perform from anywhere you want in the world. From my own experience, the main thing you need to run your side hustle is a very good Wi-Fi. And trust me, the Wi-Fi in Norway is the best I've ever had in my life. So while having my British salary plus some income coming from my side hustle made my life in Norway very comfortable. Which means if you already have your remote contract from your major employment, plus you have some additional income coming from your side hustle or hustles, which means you can move to Norway right now and try life there if it works for you or not, before you move there permanently. About difficulties of getting settled in Norway, well, it's applicable for any country in the world. There are two main reasons why people usually struggle to get settled in a new country. First, you don't speak the local language. Yes, many people in Norway speak English, but if you really want to become a part of local society, you will have to speak the local language, which is Norwegian. And my advice to start speaking it as fast as you can. Ideally, if you start learning that new language well before you actually coming to the country, like grammar and basic vocabulary for everyday life. Knowing just this will take you so much less time to start speaking Norwegian and understand the locals much better. Number two, aren't you bringing too much of your own culture into a new country? Don't get me wrong here, it's absolutely fine to admire your own culture and be proud of it, but sometimes it's a little bit too much, especially if you keep comparing everything in a new country with your own country. Just don't do this. Be open-minded and be ready to accept new things and welcome them in your new life. So two things to take out of this video and keep in mind. First, learn the language of any new country you're planning to relocate and learn it fast. Second, be open-minded and please stop comparing. Embrace your new reality. Be curious, be open-minded, learn from the locals. Try those new things and become a person of the world. I really hope this video will help you a lot if you decide to relocate to any new country, not just Norway. Thank you so much guys for being with me today. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please let me know in the comments down below what you think, or if you have any questions, or what would be your main reason why you want to relocate in a different country. Is it Norway, by the way? Please share with me in the comments down below. For now, enjoy the rest of your week and I hope I will see you in my next videos. Bye for now guys. Bye!